I think most of the students has joined, so we'll start. Okay, so in the previous lecture, we have discussed about the web engineering, right? We have started the web engineering. That was about the chapter number 10, that is advanced topics in the software engineering, right? So today we'll discuss about the web engineering. So the first that we can say about the web engineering, let me share my screen here. Is it visible to all? Okay. So the first thing that we can say about the web engineering. So first thing that we can say, it's a process only that is used to create the high quality web applications, right? When we want to develop a high quality web applications, at that time the process that is followed, that is the web engineering. But we cannot say it's the perfect clone of the software engineering. It borrows some of the software engineering fundamentals. It borrows some concepts of the software engineering, right? And its principles. So one thing we can say that some of the activities, some of the techniques, some of the concepts that are borrowed from the software engineering, and after that, the process which is performed on that, that is a web engineering. So we can say it's a systematic approach to the successful development, deployment, and maintenance of a high quality web-based system and the applications. Right now, web engineering mostly focuses on the methodologies, techniques, and the tools that are used in the web application development, which supports the development part as well as the designing part, evaluations, right? So web application development has a certain characteristic that make it different from the traditional software information system and the computer application development. So this is we can say about the web engineering. Now, immediacy and the continuous evaluation require an iterative incremental process model that produces the web application releases in the rapid sequence. We need to follow the iterative process. We need to follow the incremental model for the same, right? So one thing we can say that we should follow this process for the better quality of the software. Next is we can say the network intensive nature of the application in this domain suggests a population of users that is diverse and an application architecture that can be highly specialized, because web applications are often content driven. It is likely that parallel development activities will be scheduled within the web engineering process and involve a team of both technical and the non-technical people, right? When building any web applications, we require both the staffs. For the technical, we require technical staff for the development of the web applications, and we also require the non-technical staff for designing of the content, right? So it is written over here that often we develop a web applications, it is a content driven, right? So we require both kind of a people in our team, right? If only technical staff is there, that will not be sufficient. If it is non-technical staff is there, then also it's not sufficient, right? So we need to involve both the people in our team, that is a technical and the non-technical people. Now this is the framework for the web engineering. So you can see here, starting with the planning, formulation, sorry, starting with the formulation, planning, analysis, then page generation and testing, and customer evaluation. So if you just look at the engineering part, you can see here the various sub process that needs to be followed in this step, right? So starting with the formulation, what it says. So first of all, the web engineering, web E, that is a web engineering process begins with the formulation, right? So first of all, as you can see here on this diagram, it starts with the formulation. So what the formulation is about? So we can say it's an activity that identifies the goals, objective of the web application, and establish the scope for the first increment, right? So it's a, we can say it's a, somewhat similar to that of the SDLC. In the first phase of the SDLC, what it is about? It is about the requirement gathering, right? So in the same way, we can say in the framework of the web engineering, the first activity is the formulation, where we need to define the goal. We need to identify the goal and the objective of the web application, right? And establish the scope for the first increment. We need to take a first step in the web engineering, and that is about the formulation. Second thing is about the planning. So planning, what the planning says, planning estimates overall project cost, evaluate the risk associated with the development effort, defines the development schedule for the initial web application increment, and schedule for the subsequent increment. So as I've said that before starting any project, there are many phases that needs to be followed, right? So in the SDLC, we have also seen that it's starting from the requirement gathering, planning, analysis, then implementation, testing, maintenance. These are the phases of the SDLC. So if we just relate that with the web engineering and the activities that are involved in the web engineering, it's somewhat similar, right? So after the formulation activity, the another phase that comes into existence is the planning phase, where what we need to estimate over here in this phase, first of all, we can say overall project cost. What should be the overall project cost? Whatever the project that we are developing, that we need to identify that what should be the cost of that, whether the customer is feasible with this cost or not. Then second is, we can say, evaluates the risk associated with the development effort, right? So this, we can say, this task is very important. We need to identify that what kind of risk are associated in our project. We need to identify the types of the risk, right? So we should have an alternative for that also, and there should be some kind of an actions if it occurs, right? So we can say we need to evaluate the risk associated with the development efforts. Then third is, we can say, defines the development schedule for the initial web application increment. Now, as we are doing in the SRS also, we need to prepare a Gantt chart. Let's say, as I have already given an example, that let's say that I have started my project in the first week of the March. So I need to say that within a 2 week, I will define the project definition, right? I'll give the goal and the objective of this project within a 2 week. In the third week, I will start the implementation, or we can say I'll just plan the whole project. And in the fourth week, I'll start the implementation or the requirement or gathering phase in the fourth week, right? So for that, we need to schedule the project in this way, right? So that schedule will be in the form of an increment model, that every week we are progressing something, right? In the first week, we have defined the project goal and objective, right? In the second week, I have done the requirement and gathering phase. In the third week, I have planned the project. In the fourth week, I have started the implementation. So as you can see here, starting from the first week to the fourth week, it happens some kind of a progress in the project, right? So we can say it follows some kind of an increment model, we can say. right? So we need to schedule the subsequent increments also. We need to schedule the subsequent progresses of our project also. So that comes under the planning phase. Next is analysis. So analysis, what the analysis part do over here, we can say establish the technical requirements for the web application, identifies the content items that will be incorporated. So first of all, we need to establish the technical requirement, right? What should be the technical requirement for this web application, and also needs to identify the content items that will be incorporated. Then next is the engineering. So activity incorporates two parallel tasks illustrated on the right side of the figure. We can say the content design and content production are the tasks which are performed by the non-technical members of the web engineering team. So as I've said, that when we are building, when we are developing any project, we need to have a two kind of a people in our team. That is the technical staff and the non-technical staff as well, right? So for that, what we need to do here in this case, we need to have technical and the non-technical members, right? So first thing that we can say that content design and content production are the tasks performed by the non-technical members of the web engineering team. There are some tasks, there are some activity that is content design and content production. वो क्या करता है? We can say are the tasks. These are the tasks performed by the non-technical members. जो कौन करता है? We can say it's a non-technical staff perform करता है of the web engineering team. Next is we can say the intent of this task is to design, produce, or acquire all text, graphics, audio, and video that are to be integrated into the web applications, right? So these are the things that is there in this phase. Next is page generation is a construction activity. What the page generation is about, we can say it's a construction activity that makes heavy use of automated tools for the web application creation. Then after the another phase, or we can say the next phase of the web engineering is the testing part. So what happens in the testing part? As some of the test cases are to be performed, some of the testing technique that needs to be applied on the project, right? So testing exercises, we can say web application navigation, attempts to uncover errors in scripts and forms. That means whatever the errors which are not covered, that are to be covered in this phase, ensure that web application will operate correctly in different environments, that is on the different web browsers. That means whatever the applications that we have developed, that needs to be we can say executed on a different platforms, on a different environment. We need to make sure that the web application, whatever the web application that we have developed, that also works on the different environment as well, right? Then the next is we can say each increment produced as a part of the web engineering process is reviewed during customer evaluation, right? During the customer evaluation, each increment produced as a part of a web engineering. So this is all about the web engineering. So first of all, we have seen what is web engineering, what is the process of the web engineering. Then we have seen the framework for the web engineering. So in the framework, there are mainly 6 phases that are included in the framework of the web engineering. So the question might be asked in exam that what is web engineering? Explain its process. So you need to write this about that, what is web engineering and what is a web engineering process. And if the question is what is the framework for the web engineering, then you need to explain all the 6 activities that are included in the framework for the web engineering. That is formulation, planning, analysis, engineering, testing, and customer evaluation. So this is all about the web engineering. So is it clear to all of you up till now? Let me know in the chat box. Okay. Now moving further with the another topic, that is about the computer aided software engineering. So next is computer aided software engineering. So what it is about, we can say. So if I say about the computer aided software engineering, it stands for CASE, that is the computer aided software engineering. Now this is the generic term that is used to denote any form of the automated support for software engineering, right? So what the case is used for, if we just say in the short, then we can say it's a CASE. So case is used for what? To ensure that the high quality and the defect free software to be developed, right? Now the case also ensures the checkpointed and disciplined approach and help designers, developers, testers, managers, and others to see the project milestone during the development, right? So one thing we can say that the case tool means any tool used to automate some activity associated with the software development. The primary reasons for using the case tools are to increase the productivity, to help produce better quality software at lower cost, we can say, right? So one thing that we can say about the case is, we can say that it ensures that whatever the software is developed, that is of a high quality, and it should be defect free software. That means there should be no defects or less defects in the software. So what is the primary reasons of using the case is to increase the productivity, to help produce better quality software at the lower cost. That means at the low cost, we can get the better quality software. Now there are some components that we can say about the case, right? Case, if I say about the case, then case is a very wide topic, right? But you can say, if it is asked in the exam, then it will be like, what is computer aided software engineering? Then you can say 5 to 6 points about that, and then you can switch to the components. So these are the components, as you can see here on the screen: design generator, analysis tool, code generator, database generator, prototyping tool, screen and report generation, security and version control, error checking tool, document generator, drawing tool. So these are the things that you can say about the components of the software engineering. So starting with the central component of the case is case repository. So what the case repository is about? Central component of any case tool, we can say. It is also known as the information repository or the data directory, and we can say it's a centralized database. Now, it allows easy sharing of information between tools and SDLC activities. It is also used to store the graphical diagrams and prototype forms and reports during the analysis and design workflow, we can say, and provides a wealth of information to the project managers and allows control over the project and also facilitates the reusability. So these are, we can say, the characteristics of the case repository, right? It provides many functions, as you can see here on the screen, used to store the diagrams, sharing the information between the tools, provides the effective, or we can say the useful information to the project managers that is useful for the project. It allows the reusability, also it manages the database. So these are the certain functions that is performed by the case repository. Second is drawing tools. So drawing tools, उसमें क्या हो सकता है इस component में? Allows you to represent a system and its component visually, allows higher level process to be easily decomposed, and can examine process or data models at high or low level, right? So ये सारी चीजें है that is done by the drawing tools, right? एक सिस्टम को रिप्रेजेंट करना या फिर कंपोनेंट्स को विजुलाइज करना, then higher level process to be easily decomposed here in the drawing tools. Second is screen and report generators. तो यहाँ पे ये क्या करता है? Used to create, modify and test prototypes of computer displays and reports, used to identify which data items to display or collect for each screen or report, right? So these are the things that is done by the screen and report generators. Next is analysis tool. So obviously some analysis part needs to be done over this component, right? So generate an analysis report, whatever the analysis that is done, that is generated by this, that helps identify possible inconsistencies, redundancies and omissions, we can say. Then generally focuses on diagram completeness and consistency, data structure and usage, right? So this is done by the analysis tool. Then documentation generation tool, what it does, that it creates these standard reports. Obviously the documentation part is there. Documentation generator tool is there, so it generates some kind of a documentation report. So we can see create a standard reports based on the content of repository. Then if it is a documentation or it's a kind of a report, so obviously will require, we can say, need textual description of requirements, solution, diagrams of data and processes, prototypes, forms and reports, program specification and user documentation, we can say. Next is, we can say, high quality documentation leads to 80% reduction in system maintenance efforts in comparison to average quality documentation, right? So these are the things that is to be done at the case documentation generation tools. Next is taxonomy, case tool taxonomy. So यहाँ पे ये क्या करता है? What we can say about this? So there are many taxonomy that is there in the case. So first of all, we can say that the case tool can be classified by the functions, by their roles as instruments for managers or technical people, by their use in the various steps of the software engineering process, by the environment architecture that supports them, or even by their origin or cost, right? So the first thing that we can say that the taxonomy presented here uses the functions as a primary criterion. So the first thing that we can say is business process engineering tools. So what we can say about the business process engineering tools here, it's already written over there. So the first thing that we can say about this taxonomy is, as it is written over here, that it represents the business data objects, their relationship and flow of the data objects between company business areas. So we can say it's a kind of a model. So by modeling, and we can say the strategic information requirements of the organization, business process engineering tool provides a meta model, right, for which the specific information system are derived. So rather than focusing on the requirements of the specific application, business information is modeled as it moves between various organizational entities within a company. And one thing, the one primary objective, what we can say the primary objective of this tool is, we can say in this category is to represent business data object. It is written over here. It represents the business data objects and the relationship that how this data objects flow between different businesses area within a company, right? Next is, we can say, process modeling and management tools. So if any organization works to improve the business process, it must first understand it. पहले जब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कोई बिजनेस को इम्प्रूव करना चाहता है, तो पहले उसको समझना होगा, right? So process modeling tool are used to represent the key elements of the process, and so that it can be understood better. First of all, we need to understand the key elements. What are the key elements of this process, and after that, it can be better understood. Such tools can also provide links to process descriptions that help those involved in the process to understand the work tasks that are required to perform it. Process management tools provide links to other tools that provide supports to define the process activities, right? So we can say, first of all, we need to understand the key elements of the process for the better enhancement of the business, and it provides the link to the other tools that provides support to defined process activities. Then next is about project planning and management tool. So project planning and management tool में क्या होगा, we can say that it mainly focuses on the two primary areas, software project effort, and the second is cost estimation and project scheduling, right? So यहाँ पे estimation tool क्या करता है? First of all, if I say about the estimation tool computes the estimated efforts, project duration, and recommended number of people for the project, right? Number of people, that means how many people we require to complete the project that we needed. Then project scheduling tools enable the manager to define all project tasks, create a task network, represent task interdependencies, and model the amount of parallelisms possible for the project, right? So these are the things that are there in the project planning and management tool. So पहले तो ये estimation, cost और schedule पर focus करता है, that is the project planning and management tools. The next is risk analysis tool. So obviously it will identify the risk of the project, identifying the potential risk and developing a plan to mitigate, monitor and manage them is of paramount importance in large projects. Then risk analysis tool enable the project manager to build a risk table, as it is already written over here. For that, project manager has to build a risk tables by providing a detailed guidelines in the identification and the analysis of the risk, right? So project manager should have a detailed guideline of the project, and based on that the risk tables needs to be prepared by the project manager, and by preparing that, we can easily identify the risk and overcome that risk. Okay, next is about requirement tracing tools. So what happens in the requirement tracing tools when we see that the large systems are developed? So one thing we can say that things fall into the cracks, and that is the delivered system does not fully meet the customer specified requirements. So the objective of the requirement tracing tool is to provide a systematic approach to the isolation of the requirements, beginning with the customer request for the proposals or the specifications. That means whatever the requirement, in the requirement and the gathering phase, what happens, the customers are specifying its requirements. So what happens in that case, that sometimes it happens that whatever the requirements of the customers are there, that does not fully meet, right? So the objective of the requirement tracing tool is to provide a systematic approach to the isolation of the requirements, beginning with the customer request for proposals or the specifications. The typical request, the typical requirement tracing tool combines the human interactive text evaluation with the database management system that stores, categorize each system requirement that is passed from the original RFP, or we can say the specifications. So that is, we can say, provide a systematic database like approach to track the requirement status beginning with the specifications phase, right? So at the beginning of the specification phase, we need to trace all the requirements that is by the customer and try to fulfill the requirements of the customers. Then next is, we can say, the software configuration management tools. So what happens in this? Uses the case repository to assist with all the SCM tasks, that is a software configuration management tools, that is identification, version control, change control, that we have already discussed, right? हमने जब सॉफ्टवेयर कॉन्फ़िगरेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट का चैप्टर पढ़ा था, that is the chapter number 6 or 7, right? In that we have seen the version control, change control, that part we have already done, right? So these are, we can say, the SCM task, that is a software configuration management task: identification, version control, change control, auditing, and status accounting, right? So that we have already discussed in detail about the configuration management. Then next is about system software tool. So first of all, we can say that case is a workstation technology. Therefore, the case environment must accommodate high quality network system software, object management services, distributed component support, electronic mail, bulletin boards, and other communication capabilities. Right. So first of all, network system software, object management service, distributed component support this communication software. देन क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस टूल. सो ये भी हमने क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस पार्ट में देखा था that we require some kind of a matrices tool that audit source code to determine compliance with language standards, or tools that extract matrices to project the quality of the software, right? So we require some kind of a matrices that determine the source code as well, right? So one thing we can say that the majority of the case tools claims to focus on the quality assurance, that are actually a matrix tool, right? That audits the source code, that is mentioned over here. So other tool extracts the technical matrices in an effort to project the quality of the software that is being built. And we can say that the database management software serves as a foundation for the establishment of the case database. So for that, we need to have a matrices tool that audits the code as well as the compliance with the language standards. Then next is about database management tool. So यहाँ पे ये टूल क्या करता है? What the tool is about? Database management tool. So we can say RDBMS and OODMS, Object Oriented Database Management System, serve as a foundation for the establishment of the case repository. Right? यहाँ पे दो databases जो use हो रहा है, we can say that is for the DBMS, RDBMS and OODBMS, that is Object Oriented Database Management System, that is, we can say, work as a foundation. राइट यहाँ पे वो क्या कर रहा है? दैट वर्क्स एज अ फाउंडेशन फॉर द एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ द केस रिपोजिटरी, दैट वी आल्सो कॉल्ड इट एज अ प्रोजेक्ट डेटाबेस, राइट? जिसको क्या बोला जाता है? प्रोजेक्ट डेटाबेस भी बोला जाता है. देन द नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट द सिमुलेशन टूल्स. So यहाँ पे simulation tools क्या करता है? Provides the software engineers with ability to predict the behavior of the real-time systems before they are built, and the creation of the interface mockups for the customer review. राइट यहाँ पे जो वी कैन से कि यहाँ पे होता क्या है, ऑब्वियसली द सिमुलेशन पार्ट दैट नीड्स टू बी डन, राइट? सो सिमुलेशन टूल प्रोवाइड्स द सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर टू विथ एबिलिटी टू प्रेडिक्ट द बिहेवियर ऑफ द रियल टाइम सिस्टम. रियल टाइम सिस्टम है वो कैसे बिहेव करता है बिफोर दे आर बिल्ड, एंड क्रिएट द इंटरफेस मोकअप्स, right? Interface mockups for the customer review. So first of all, it releases, before the release of the software, it takes the reviews, it takes the mockups from the customer to take a review of the customer that whether it works in a proper way or not. The next is interface design and development tools. So यहाँ पे we can say that toolkits of interface components often part environment with the GUI to allow the rapid prototyping of user interface design. Then next is prototyping tool. So one thing we can say that the variety of different prototyping tool can be used, such as we can say the screen painters enable the software engineer to define the screen layout rapidly for the interactive applications, and more sophisticated case prototyping tools enable the creation of data design coupled with both screen and report layouts. Now, sometimes it happens that many analysis and design tools have extensions that provide prototyping options, right? So, what happens in that case? That यहाँ पे क्या पूरा किया जाता है कि यहाँ पे पूरा स्क्रीन लेआउट कैसे करना है, उसकी डिजाइनिंग कैसे होगी, इसका रिपोर्ट जनरेट कैसे होगा, that tool is used specifically for that purpose. Then programming tools, that is we can say the compilers, editors, debuggers, object-oriented programming environments, graphical programming environments, application generators, and the database query generators. So these are the things that are performed by the programming tools over here, right? Then web development tools. So यहाँ पे web development tools क्या करता है? Assist with the generation of web page text, graphics, forms, script, applets, etc. So these are the things that are done at the web development tools. So is it clear to all of you up till now? So time for attendance. (17) series 5.
Yes.
12. 1.
Yes, ma'am.
3.
Present, ma'am.
5.
Yes, ma'am.
6.
Yes, ma'am.
7.
Yes, ma'am.
8. 9.
Present, ma'am.
10.
Yes, ma'am.
11.
Yes, ma'am.
12. 14. 15.
Yes, ma'am.
16. 17. 18.
Present,
19.
Yes,
18
ma'am.
minutes.
21.
Yes, ma'am.
22. 23.
Yes, ma'am.
24. 25.
Yes, ma'am.
26.
Yes, ma'am.
27. 28.
Present, ma'am.
30.
Yes, ma'am.
31.
Present, ma'am.
32, 33,
Present, ma'am.
34, 35,
Yes, ma'am.
36,
Yes, ma'am.
38,
Yes, ma'am.
39,
Present, ma'am.
40,
Present, ma'am.
41,
Yes, ma'am.
42, 43,
Yes, ma'am.
44,
Yes.
45, 46, 47,
Yes, ma'am.
48,
Yes, ma'am.
49,
Yes, ma'am.
50,
Yes, ma'am.
51, 54,
Yes, ma'am.
55,
Yes, ma'am.
1,
Yes, ma'am.
2,
Yes, ma'am.
3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, check these numbers on the screen. 17 series 12. Okay. और कोई? Please check it once again. Okay, so आज A batch की lab है. So just come with your laptop. We'll do the next chapters. Okay, thank you all of you. You may leave.
Ma'am, 16 present.
15, 18 series 15.
Yes, ma'am.
Abhay Raj is there.
Vandana.
Uh, it's a 15, 1-5.
1-6.
Okay, 16. Sorry. Okay, done.